Anterior sería... Estábamos muertos, nos despertamos siendo un vampiro, matamos sin querer a nuestra hermana, vamos descubriendo pistas, acabamos con una especie de vampiro menor, que es el primer jefe. Un médico nos contrata como doctores, porque somos doctores especializados en sangre, o sea, un vampiro especializado en sangre. Y también nos explican un poco de que si hablamos con la gente, descubrimos cosas de la gente o los curamos, a la hora de luego matarlos recibiremos más experiencia. Y eso está chido. Turno de noche. Continuar. Dado del distrito sano. A ver. A ver. Aumenta la energía. Vale, tengo que mejorar esto, ¿tú ves? Tengo que mejorar esta. A ver. Estoy en eso. Lo que he descubierto de aquí. Perfecto. Hola.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
Que soy vampiro, ya hace noche.
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Sorry. There's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have.
Pues vaya mierda.
Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of the
Pinta
narrow
feo la morgue.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Ah, pero no puedo hablar más con ella. A ver.
Yes, doctor?
Quiero saber más cositas.
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his
Sí,
society
contactos por
contacts
dinero.
for monies, but with the quarantine, Well, we're in God's hands.
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it. The key I gave you will open the small back door to it.
Vale. Nunca
Why
descansa.
then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Hostias. Cuando
Your
duerme.
dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation.
Oh,
not
toma,
the labor of a
Eso sí que es
journey.
vocación.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
Vale.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane, thank you.
Joder con la enfermerita. Esto ya lo miré, creo. Ah, pues no lo miré tan bien, No te... A ver. Ostras, toma ahí, encontré una pista. ¿Pero de quién ha sido? ¿De este? No, de este. Esta puerta acá está, no se puede pasar. Ya. Joder. A ver, ¿qué hay aquí? Esta está muy paliducha,
I'm
¿no?
Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight may be
Ah, es una
inclined to
vampiro.
mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
Es
I
un
don't need
puto
to believe
vampiro.
anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood. Oh, from the inside.
Hay de hablar del síndrome de Cotard.
Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howard?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul. Or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Ugh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think
Vamos, que
it is
esta no es
I
un
who
vampiro.
am delusional.
Atrás. Preguntas personales. Paciente.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howard?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Danos usted sus
Who
enemigos.
are these enemies? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me
Se
every
tiene el pie,
time I
madre
visit
mía.
the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Investigaciones locales. Hay una nueva investigación sobre ciudadanos disponible. A ver. Investigaciones sobre ciudadanos. Aquí puedes ver las investigaciones. Detalle. Atrás. Atrás. Preguntas personales.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it's such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
¿Estoy creída? Vale, pues de momento veo que no puedo saber más de la piba esta.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Joder, que hay una puta nota. A ver. Estimados hermanos, debo llamar vuestra atención con respecto a un punto esencial. El uso del ajo como protección contra los vampiros. Seamos totalmente claros, con este asunto el ajo jamás te protegerá contra esas criaturas, no importa lo fresco, fuerte u oloroso que sea. El ajo es totalmente inservible como defensa. Nunca me canso de repetir el daño que ha hecho la novela de Bram Stoker. Sí, por supuesto que los habitantes de los países estamos colocando el ajo en los ataúdes. Y sí, por supuesto que los habitantes de la isla de Santorini cuelgan ajos en sus ventanas. Se podría escribir tanto sobre este lugar, espero... vaya, que esto yo no lo leo ni para atrás. Espero poder regresar pronto a la isla para explorar más a fondo su tradición oculta. Pero el objetivo no es el de proteger a los vivos de los demonios. Se trata de advertir a los muertos de que son conscientes de su malevolencia. Se trata de un símbolo nada más y nada menos. Y que si es... Nos habla de los ajos, por lo que veo. De la piba esta.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
La gente.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Vale. Su vida en Londres. ¿Cómo va su estancia?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars.
Qué putada.
If you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Qué putada.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Qué putada.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Qué pringadillo, ¿no? Oh, qué pobrecillo.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Eres tontísimo.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen.
Salí con una fulana, vamos, una putilla.
Drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world.
Bueno, pues en el real también hay vampiros. Bueno, ha sido revelado. Hablar con este tipo.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Vale. ver. ¿Esto? Esa piba ha dado las castañejas. A ver, aquí qué coño hay. Ah, vale, vale, vale.
It's locked. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
¿Qué hay aquí? ¿Y eso? Bocado al pecho. Ah, que me la has esquivado, hijo de puta. ¡Ay, va! ¡Qué desgraciado! Hijo de puta. ¡Ay, va! ¡Que hay otro! ¡Qué desgraciado! ¡Buah! ¡Qué hostias me ha metido! Pero vaya, ni tan mal. Ah, pues vamos para adentro. Ay, no me jodas. Que me salió. Ah, ya puedo pasar por aquí también al menos. Vale. He venido de ahí antes, ya pasar aquí. Ahí veo algo. Asco de vidrio. Ahí, nada, nada, nada. Nada, nada. Por arriba. Aturdimiento.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. It's locked, all right.
Botella de alcohol. A ver qué le pasa a este. Balas. Toda escopetera. Chelines.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Seguimos subiendo. A ver. Al hoyo. No tienes ni tan mala habilidad esa que es para la habilidad. Aquí no hay una mierda. Bueno, pues...
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Vale. ¡Hostia! ¿Qué es ese? ¡Vaya cabrón! ¡Qué desgraciado! Que he visto algo, ¿Dónde estás? Si te he visto, cabrón. Tipejo. Vaya, pues nada.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Interesante. Hostia, que hay otro. Mierda, mierda, mierda. Mierda, me queda sin sangre. Se ha dado cuenta el cabrón.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Absorción de sangre o aturdimiento. Pues absorción de sangre. A ver. Hola, hola, campeón. Ay, que no veo. Hoy va. No le quito una mierda. Ahí va. Necesito la de aturdir. Joder, me está poniendo finísimo.
ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
No tan mal el pibe este como me ha puesto. Puede valer. Vale, de momento sí. Vale, vale, vale. El campeón. Vale, muy discreto no. Pues vale. ¿Qué tenemos aquí? ¿En serio no había entrado aquí? O no sé. O han salido nuevos tipos. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. Va, a ver si encuentro la cartera del men ese. Esto lo puedo cambiar a esto y esto. Vale. Y la cartera del falto este, ¿dónde está? Ahí no la coge. ¿Será eso? Pues muy bien. Voy a darle la cartera. No.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Vol. No está. El conductor de ambulancia traficante. ¿Pero dónde está? Es ese, sí. Tú, ambulancia.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet, with all the money, and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Me falta pasta. A ver. He descubierto cosas sobre este, ¿no? A este me lo puedo zampar, pues casi ya. ¿Qué está ya con esta? Ni tan mal. Arriba. ¿Dónde está? En mi habitación. Ok. ¿Qué te voy a hacer? Aquí. Tiene suficientes ingredientes para elaborar un remedio de estamina para la fatiga. ¿Qué es esto? Para el agotamiento. Esto era lo que le faltaba al del puto bar, ¿no? Esto es. Vale. Aquí no puedo pasar todavía. ¿Dónde está la enfermera que busco? ¿Es esta o qué? Sí, es esta.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Las enfermedades empeoran en calidad de la sangre. Usa la medicina adecuada para curarla. Habla con la paciente de la habitación que hay detrás de Dorothy para comprobar el estado de salud. A ver, está.
Dr. Reed, may I help you?
Frutas, no sé qué.
For how long have you been working here, Nurse Crane?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911, a few months after Dr. Swansea was appointed.
And before you arrived here?
If you must know, this was my first job.
Well, Dr. Swansea certainly has confidence in your abilities. Are you in charge of the nursing staff?
Not in an official capacity, but the Pembroke doesn't always work above board, so to speak.
What about medical protocols?
Dr. Reed, we don't have the money and resources here at the Pembroke like they do in the West End.
Joder, ¿cuánto hay que hablar? Adiós, amigo.
How is the duty roster organized?
Everybody works until they can't. If there's time, they'll eat a meal and
Y
share a
lloramos,
silent
joder.
tear.
Atrás. Atrás. Asuntos personales.
What can you tell me about the epidemic, Nurse Crane? I've been out of touch since I've come back to England.
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't tell them. Not as long as the war is raging on, anyway.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control, at least in Britain.
It seemed to be for a while, but that was only last summer. It returned with a vengeance just over a month ago.
Joder.
What can you tell me about our patients here at Pembroke?
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor and needy. But since the war and the quarantine, we've had all manner of folk.
Can you be more specific?
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
Atrás.
I'll
Dios.
see you later, Nurse Crane.
Aquí anda información.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Yo no sé qué está desconocido.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But
A ver, ¿tenéis algo que os robe?
I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, sir. Doctor. I'm all right.
Enfermera Crane ya me la puedo... Detalles. Ventilar casi. ¡Ey! Que esto puedo abrirlo. Ay, no, esto no, puta nota. A ver.
My sweet girl. Looks to be like a book.
It's locked, all right.
No me jodas. Qué cagada.
It's locked.
Uf.
I cannot enter.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea. But my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
I'm a dead man. I was murdered. Now I'm a murderer. Tell me how this is a gift.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me...
Ay, el médico este.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
Pues claro que quiero. Tengo unas preguntitas.
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Well, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skal, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
How do Skals come into existence?
Skulls.
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skal?
A Skal is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
Pues ya está. Adiós.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
Vale. Por error durante la guerra. Anda. Vale, pues creo que de aquí lo tengo todo.
Flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp... The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
Venga, la
The
creo.
world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Vale. Dun, 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 dun.
Another night with the ruins
Mira, de esto puedo hablar otra vez.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Have you heard of any blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time for mortal games. My secrets are beyond their comprehension, Dr. Reed.
Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
automatons, these nurses. Bred with no respect. What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here. You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Vale.
Miss Jones, greetings. How do we feel?
Again? Waking a poor old woman in her sleep? There isn't a poor life needs saving somewhere?
Qué buena espera.
I need to ask you a few simple questions.
Well, if you really must.
Have you noticed any suspicious comings or goings?
It would be a great deal easier to make a list of things unsuspicious in this house of charlatans.
Come now, Miss Jones. Surely it's not that bad.
Have you no eyes? This hospital accepts all manner of souls, regardless of origin. The proper sick cannot heal. We're kept sickened by the refugees.
Everyone here is very capable. I have not seen any instances of unprofessionalism.
Thieves and murderers, the lot. People have gone missing here, you know. Poof, without a trace.
If you could just tell me why you were admitted.
It's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain in my chest, coughing up blood, and I get awfully tired. Wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't lost my house and all.
I see.
No one comes to visit, you know. Not even my own flesh and blood.
No, que no te quiere
I'll come
nadie.
and visit you shortly. Good night, Miss Jones. Miss Jones, greetings.
No, joder.
How do we feel?
Again?
Como esta artesana no me la voy a
Waking a poor old
merendar.
woman in her sleep. There isn't a poor life needs saving somewhere?
I'll come and visit
Y
you
encima no la ha
shortly.
echado de menos nadie.
Good night, Miss Jones. The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Tú.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
A ver.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget.
Joder, es la misma pregunta de antes.
Fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Adiós.
For now, Mr. Cox. Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them? Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
¿Cómo? Escuchar las coñas. Si un ciudadano actúa de forma sospechosa, su corazón...
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Boo. Pues habrá que ir a por el mafioso.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
Uf, pinta feo este sitio, eh.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
A qué cositas. Ah, pues como veo. Madre mía, no me ha escuchado que potra. Hijo de puta. ¿Esto qué es? Después, no sé por dónde ir. Allí no me ha dejado nada, ¿no? No. Hijo de puta.
This is despicable.
Ratitas. Adiós.
What sort of creature
¿Y el hijo de puta ese? Adiós. Hijo de puta. Ven, hijo de puta. Guau. Guau, qué hostia. Vamos, vamos, que ya me lo cargo al hijo de puta este. ¡A la mierda!
Here's what... Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Pues bien. Ni tan mal. Es que no veo. Qué hago en tu puta madre. ¿Cómo eres tan cabrón? ¿Qué tenemos aquí? Tú.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. Okay, I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
All right, Mr. Thatcher, you're safe now. Do you think you can reach the street by yourself?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Adiós.
Are you sure you're all right, sir?
Yes. Yes, I'll be. As soon as I can see the sky again.
Pues vale. Vale. Hostia, nivel 11 el bicho. Pues... tengo que ir a tomar para el culo, ¿no? Ah, esto no. Madre mía. Estos no pintan bien.
Sir, step away. Don't come closer, sir.
Hostia, nivel 3 de la puta.
Go back home. There's one of them. Watch
Vale.
yourselves.
Hostia, que son muchos, ¿no? Digo yo. Oiga, qué hostia me ha metido el bicho, ¿no? Adiós. Adiós, amigo, que me ha reventado. Hostias. Qué cagado. A ver dónde aparezco. Bueno, vale. Ni tan mal. El campeón. Adiós, 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 que está motivado. El objetivo nivel 18, el bicho. Wow, 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 wow. Hostia puta, hostia me mete, ¿no? ¡Joder! La virgen puta. Joder, me ha puesto fino el bicho ese. A ver dónde estoy. ¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Tiene? Ok.
This one's mine!
No, cabrones, cabrones. Ah, me ha disparado el mierda ese. Hostias. Hostias. Ay, no. Ahí va. Joder. No, pues nada, ya la misión. Dios, qué hostia me ha metido el bicho. Hostias, qué viaje me ha metido con la escopeta el hijo de puta. Este tío, ¿de dónde sale? Ay, que he fallado. Qué cagada. Y me da con la puta escopeta el bicho. Cúrate, cúrate. ¡No! Joder. Ya tengo que volver al hospital a subir de nivel. Joder. Voy a intentar matarlos otra vez. Joder, y me llevo una escopeta, a ver si no soy imbécil. Joder, qué hijo de puta. Joder, qué cabrón. Joder. Estoy bien jodido, Joder. Uff. Qué toca pelotas. Me ha dejado tiritando el bicho.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Patrese good fellow. It's locked, all right.
Aquí en teoría hay un escondite, ¿no? Ahora aquí está. Si quiero para aquí voy al escondite ese. Espera.
It's locked.
¿Qué mierda? Pues aquí no. Sí.
I cannot enter.
A ver si voy por aquí. No. Ay, puta ratón. Perfecto. Porque se queda pillado esto. Me jodas. Ha muerto el juego. Ah. Vale.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. There's no one in. It's locked.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Esta.
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned. I cannot enter.
Ah, bueno, estos no me atacan por lo que veo.
One way or another. Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake. I prefer
Isn't by your daily routine, unable to see the true horror around you. Soon the time will come when you will all be judged for your sins. Even now, he judges your words and actions. The wars of men should not...
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Sí, tienes uno delante.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
I have heard enough. Goodbye.
Good
evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's Father Whitaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil
ese está más
grows
muerto.
night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes,
Ay, el cura.
by the flames.
Science and progress are our only hope against the monstrosity hidden behind this epidemic.
See, Doctor? Now you acknowledge the presence of evil within the city's walls. Now you start to admit the truth.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Science and progress are our only hope against the monstrosity hidden behind this epidemic.
See, Doctor? Now you acknowledge the presence of evil within the city's walls. Now you start to admit the truth.
Qué cabrón.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Joder, se han quedado a gusto.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
But...
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye. Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Joder.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nithercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nithercott?
He spends most of his time
Boy.
around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Continuamos. A3.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery. This war must stop.
Bueno, lo de la gripe también es jodido.
An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
¿No le da miedo salir de noche? Bueno, las pandillas no es lo peor que puedes encontrar por ahí.
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mr. Dunn. Farewell.
Pues muy bien. Mercader. Nivel 10 tiene el bicho este. Ah, pero que ha venido otro por ahí. Vale. ¡Hijo de puta! Hostia, que me muero. ¡No! Me cago en la puta. Tengo que subir de nivel. Pero de ya mismo. Ay. Ah, pero es que aparecen de la nada otros dos. Joder, lo fácil que es matar a estos. Y lo que me complica yo la vida. Será este el tío que tengo que buscar.
Morbidity can breathe its own beauty and grace. Whitechapel is not just disease, desertion, and despair. Oh, Camellia, the silent flower of Whitechapel, an angel made flesh, I tell you.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Some of us come to this world already touched by grace.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to them.
Por aquí no hay una mierda, ¿verdad? La.
Silent flower of Whitechapel, an angel made flesh, I tell you.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposures.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to
Pero puede ser de día. ¿No te das cuenta que estás hablando con un vampiro?
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of it.
I'll leave you alone. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
away this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
Vamos a llamar.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Vamos a tener una charla de hombre a hombre.
Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Ya está aquí. Vamos a mirar cositas. Mira, ahí te robo. Madre mía, cómo les estoy robando.
It's locked.
Ya está abierta la puerta esta. Y esta también. Vamos a esperar. ¿Dónde está la enfermera? Crane. Vale, está arriba. Y aquí robando, vaya tela. Buah, a esta ya me la puedo ventilar si quiero. Calidad de sangre 4000. Y encima está sana.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain, diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk and a kiss on the cheek? Where are the quinine salts?
Tried buying, borrowing, even stealing. There's none to be found, Doctor.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Skull! Hand me that skull!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
¿Qué fe?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor. We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse,
Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
You're here to test my bedside map. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
It's locked, all right.
Oh, this one stinks already.
Pues ya me he encargado de la enfermera esa. Ojalá, pues ya me puedo matar cuando quiera. Que supongo que habrá un trofeo de no matar a nadie. Ya, bueno,
It's locked, all right.
The flu killed this one.
Serán cabrones.
Did you hear me? Speak English, do you?
Será cabrón. Cabrón.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life away. Me, I'll not die in some piss stinking alley reeking worse than a week old lamb.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boys!
¿Qué dices? ¡Joder! Ay. Toma y que hay jefe. Ay, joder. Joder, jefe, a la vuelta.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Oh, empezamos bien. Oh. ¡Joder! No sé qué la pillado. Joder, que se me ha quedado pillado. Pues muy bien. Pues mientras